The Shine on CX Show with Claire Boscq, illuminating the path to exceptional customer service.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, I have the pleasure to have Dr. Danica, and I can't actually say your second name, so you're going to have to say it yourself. Danica, Dr. Danica. I think that's much nicer.
Perfect. Yeah, you don't need to worry about my last name.
Dr. Danica is here with us. And we've only just met a few weeks ago, and I think there was just a sparkle of understanding, and the same passion just came within the same conversation. So you've only just arrived on the island a couple of months ago?
Yes, that's right.
So where are you from originally, and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, originally I'm from Serbia. I was born in Serbia and spent half of my life there. And then went to America, to California a little bit, back to Serbia, then to England. And I've been in England in between Sheffield and London for about 20 years now. And now Jersey. Next
okay.
chapter.
So you've gone into, you're a tech woman, definitely a tech woman, but you're a doctor. So how does that work? Where's the doctor come from?
The doctor came from Sheffield.
Okay.
So I suppose my passion goes, back to computer science and language. So I've been always fascinated by the way we actually use language to communicate and how intuitive that is. And then I suppose I connected that with computer science when I came to Sheffield. And I came to Sheffield because I was doing this AI system for tourism to connect user profiles with destinations. And the TripAdvisor at that time just came out. Imagine that was some time ago. And then I was like, I could analyze these reviews to figure out what people think, but I didn't know how. So that's
how long ago, actually? How long ago? You say some times ago, but how long?
Yeah, I did my PhD. I moved to that was 2006. So I was doing, probably 2005 and 2006 is when I was doing.
So about 20 years ago. Is that the first?
Yeah.
That already we were talking about AI at that time?
Yeah. I was doing my master's. I was a software engineer back in Serbia, and I was doing my master's in on the side. And I remember at that time AI wasn't a thing really. You couldn't really find a job.
Right.
In AI industry. So I was doing my master's because I was fascinated by that. And, being a software engineer with my computer science degree. But in that kind of my master thesis was a side project because I had like a full-time job. But anyway, that turned into something really interesting where I was like suddenly analyzing language and how people speak. And they were writing these reviews on TripAdvisor. And I was like extracting what that means for these destinations. And that then led me to the software called Gate, which turns out was developed in Sheffield.
Okay.
And little by little, I was like, I really liked Gate, and I started contributing. I was active on the mailing list, and then they offered me a job.
Okay.
And then a year later, they said, why don't you do a PhD? You seem to love this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I love it. So that's kind of
that's how you'd become a doctor.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
That's
the
bits of it. But so you are a doctor in technology and in science technology.
Yes.
And
artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Because, for us, it just looks like AI is only just arrived in the market 2-3 years ago kind of thing.
No. It's been around some time, actually. It's been
right.
Even actually, speaking of industry, it has been applied even back in 20 years ago, it's been used, maybe not 20 years ago, but it's been used, for example, in the financial industry to extract trading signals. So we're talking about sentiment analysis, how is this company doing? What's in the news? Just like a human would be looking, okay, this is happening in this company, I'll invest here and there. So I think that has been around for some time. So I think there's different, and people don't necessarily used to call it AI, and even today you hear people say, no, that's not AI, that's just machine learning. But AI is anything that actually simulates human behavior in any way, therefore, even if it's a simple rule-based system, it's
so how do you see actually AI improving customer experience? Because that's, Shine on CX Show is all about, right?
Yes, absolutely.
How do we enhance the experience, our customers' experience through AI? Because a lot of people see that as almost a threat. So, I think there's a massive power that people aren't seeing
It's right. That's right. There has been a lot, and interestingly also, when you speak of customer experience and AI to people, everyone is just thinking chatbots.
Right.
And I'm thinking, no, that's not AI for CX. There's so many things that you could do, and it's really so. So I think there's a few bits. Maybe so. The first one is that around chatbots and automation and what you could do there, and that is all about like being clever about how you design that so that the human can shine on CX, because that's what that is about. The AI should take off human, those things that are easy to take off, easy to solve. I want to reset my password, shouldn't be no one should be speaking to a human about that, right? There's certain things that you could definitely and should automate, and where AI should do a good job. Second thing, assistance with customer experience. You could imagine having what I didn't say, I suppose, is that I am the founder of Sentient Machines, so this is where we build the software that can assist agents in real time. And the way you assist is you using all the information you have to produce the best outcome for the customer. So you're actually assisting the agent on the phone, on the email, whatever they're doing, because there's different way of communication. And then AI is kind of mining through all the data, because you're on the phone, you don't have time. You don't want to be doing that. That's already done for you. It's in front of you. All you have to do is just focus on the customer, right? And that's what ultimately is what the great customer experience is about, solving problems fast.
And I guess the agents, whether they're on phone or on emails, they don't know everything, right?
Exactly, and and they don't need to know. Like it's like there is like maybe there's a customer history, maybe there's like these offers that I could give them, maybe like there's different bits and pieces that they don't have to necessarily keep in their heads, and some of this information is also updated. You could have supervisors also kind of placing what kind of offers are new and changing all of these things, right? So AI is there really to create, to assist and to offload from humans things that don't matter, that AI can do fast, and then humans can really just focus on that human experience that should be always exceptional. But as we know, it's not necessarily that way all the time. And also another thing, maybe the last one, because I was talking about automation assistance. The third one is, I think, even for training people, there's so much you could learn from just, for example, analyzing conversations, which is what we do. So to actually understand, okay, what are the strengths of this person or weaknesses, and where can we focus for the next training session. So it's really allowing personalized training experience, right? So not everyone is good at everything, and you can't really just go to a person and say, show empathy to the customer. That's not, if you say to someone, show empathy, it's almost like it can be very artificial. It can be, that empathy needs to be embedded, like that person needs to feel it in order to deliver it, right? And that's where I think in that offline training scenario, AI can be really, really powerful tool to create, really to upskill the person in their communication skills, and then they'll of course deliver the amazing customer experience.
I love that. So automation, assistance and training are three areas that really AI really help enhancing the experience for organizations.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's other things like that you could do, for example, through, I think we were talking about analyzing customer interactions to assist with understanding also customer experience, because this is another area. Like people everyone wants to deliver amazing customer experience, but actually, how is it going today? So I'm going to measure my CSAT, I'm going to measure my NPS, but ultimately, what's behind that?
Danica, it's very easy to say that because you and I understand them, but what does CSAT means and what does NPS means?
Okay, sorry. CSAT is customer satisfaction and net promoter score.
Okay.
So,
and so what's the difference between one and the other?
I suppose traditionally companies like to use these because they are perceived as standard measures, so they can compare each other. So I suppose everyone knows NPS because everyone has at some point in their life been asked, would you like to recommend our services to your friend?
Right.
And then you get a scale from 1 to 10, and then if you go
actually 0 to 10, isn't it, for the net
0 to 10, yes, and then you were either saying yes I would or no I wouldn't. And
why that question?
because that's perceived as like good customer experience.
If you're recommending somebody to...
If I really like someone's services, I'm going to talk to you. I mean, we are going to have a coffee and I'm going to be like, I'm going to recommend them, right? And that's a great to use that as a measure. But at the end of the day, you don't really know why they said what they said, right? So then people collect feedback maybe in free form, and that's where AI, a lot of people actually, interestingly, they actually wouldn't use a machine to analyze that feedback, but they would manually collect it, which is fine. But AI can do, process much more data points in a small amount of time, and give you like reasons for promoters, reasons for distractors. So why would I recommend you? Why wouldn't I? And of course, what I'm kind of trying to promote a complementary way to measure, to understand your NPS and customer satisfaction scores, and that is from your customer interactions. So, for example, if you are a business that has a lot of customer interactions, you talk to your customers every single day, there is a lot that you can derive from that. So, for example, in the Sentient Machines platform, we have something called Customer Experience Index. Now, that's an index that is crafted based on historic conversations of what people have said about certain conversations. And then we're trying to essentially predict whether this would be a positive customer satisfaction score or high customer satisfaction score or low customer satisfaction score. So in other words, would your customers be happy at the end or not? And I think that is a very powerful, not utilized that much, or not utilized as much as it should be. I think the latest number I've seen is like 20% of companies use analytics, but they use it for many other things, right, rather than customer experience. Like that, some of it, because NPS and collecting manually data is so, like, everyone is so used to that, and that's fine. But there's so much more that you could do if you just kind of plug in AI and analyze how are people saying certain things. Yeah. And you could do actually amazing things. You could even know if someone is about to have if someone is burnt out, your team member, all of these things. Like, there's amazing metrics you could.
EPS, for example, employees' net promoter score can also be very, 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 very powerful, because then, if you're doing your surveys on a regular basis, then you can have that feedback directly from the employees. And maybe sometimes employees don't always say what they think because they may be fearful of what they're saying, but however the way they're saying it could be analyzed and could be, you can actually show that there's maybe fear, or there's maybe stress, or there's maybe things coming up that maybe they're not actually talking. Would that be
exactly? Yes, exactly. So there are, so we have a behavior called, for example, disengagement, which is actually, and also another one called boredom. Like, so it's trying to capture if this person is, and they could be, so it could be different reasons for this, right? And sometimes it's just like, okay, random, I'm not having a great day. But then if you discover a pattern, if this is like going, a certain way, then the result is attrition rates. And that is actually a big pain for, there was a report showing like 100% attrition rates. I mean, imagine that. It's like you're spending all this money to hire people, investing your resource to train them, and then they're just gonna leave anyway in 3 months, and then you start again. So that is, I think that's also partially contributing to the customer experience that is not as great as we would like, because it's almost like trying to keep up with all of that, and make it kind of make it work, so people actually feel like, okay, I'm gonna stay, I'm learning. So that's why I think this bit around training and AI, I think, is very powerful, because people, if I feel I'm learning, I'm developing, and I'm valued, someone cares about me, I think it's more likely I'm gonna stay.
I feel empowered, I can do things. And then if you're training them properly, because they've got maybe gaps that AI is picking up on, you can train them on specifics. So you're also making it a lot more productive. You're getting some training which are really focused on the particular need of your employees.
Exactly. And then, of course, the result is an amazing customer experience. So
just as simple. And we finished the conversation.
Just obsessed with that.
It's just that simple, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's so. When you're thinking, so when you're, analyzing. So how do you analyze the data? So where does the data come from? If somebody's looking at, so we've got voice, you mentioned.
Yeah, so traditionally, if you are a B2C business, you'll have a lot of conversations via telephone, chat, maybe chatbot, email. So all these communications, you could actually have that in one place and understand the whole customer journey and understand. So it's almost like, so there's two ways we do it. One is near real time, which is when the conversation finishes, goes into the engine, and then you just kind of spit out results and you say, okay, this is how, you split first who is speaking when, is this the agent, is it the customer? And then you look into the dynamics of that conversation. So there are certain customer behaviors that are interesting and different ones for the agent, right? So if the customer is confused, that's much more interesting than an agent being confused, even though you don't want a confused agent. But it's like, a confused customer means, okay, perhaps there's like a training opportunity here to rephrase things for the next customer. Yeah. And so on. So, and also when you're looking at frustration and things like this is more likely to appear on the customer side than on the agent side. So then you align, you're basically focusing on different things. And then, so we have these algorithms, like more than 25, that just scan, try to identify things. Is there a certainty in the tone of voice?
The words
are
that
they solving
use.
The words as well, yeah. So it's not just about how they say it, but what they say. And then, are they resolving the problem? A very important one, actually. Is there a resolution in the whole conversation? And all of these things, then you try and understand, okay, how is it changing the customer behavior? Are they happier towards the end? Are they not? And so on. So that's kind of how, yeah.
So you've obviously been doing that for a long time, but organisation only kind of starting looking at it now. What do you see the biggest challenges for organisations to actually implement a system like yours, the sentiment analysis, into their organisation, into their daily kind of, and looking at it as a measurement and as an improvement tool? What's the biggest challenges that you think you see?
The biggest challenges are, I think they are to do with people understanding the value of it and really embracing it, rather than thinking, oh, that's like there was a lot of misconception about like early days. These days I think it's a little bit better, but even the say pre-ChatGPT, right? So that's like 2-3 years ago. There's a lot of fear, like even for example, what we do at Sentiment Machines, are you going to automate and take our jobs? Right. And I'm like, no. Even if you automate, there's still a lot of work for humans to do, amazing things. But, let's just remove this pain of waiting for an hour to speak to someone. That's like, you can't hire as many people. So I think ChatGPT has done an amazing thing, which is it has pushed, finally, these boundaries of like people who were really, really uncomfortable with the idea of this AI doing something, with regards to anything I do. So there's certain profile that just like used to fear that. Now, after post-ChatGPT, people are, I think, changing and realizing that AI is here to stay, and there's more willingness to embrace it. And therefore, the challenges, I think, have slightly changed in that regard. And you will hear a lot of people talk about, generative AI as if generative AI is going to solve all the problems, because ChatGPT is so amazing as to do, let's say you want to summarize text, it's going to do an amazing job. It can also pretend to do an amazing job when actually it hasn't done a very good job. So that's the problem. That is actually the underlying problem of all of that. But that's for another time. But I think it has been an amazing thing, I think, across all industries and for customer experience, the fact that people are now saying, I'm going to look at how I can benefit from this. And I think that's where I think those challenges can then be overcome, so there will be less resistance in teams when people are trying to actually implement some of these. So
yeah, totally. I think we're seeing it, and one of the reasons you are here as well on the island is actually just to do that as well, raise awareness about it on the island and actually bring some of that. So you and I are going to be doing some events together and educating and inspiring people to actually deliver better CX because, it's enhanced that technology and using the technology to the full capacities, which I think that's when you don't know what you don't know, right?
No, and this is the thing with, I think, just like AI and and pre-AI, there's like digitalization and things like that. Like now, finally, COVID pushed us all to get digital, and then now, okay, AI is now, it's all ready now for AI, ChatGPT, thank you very much, and it's like, okay, now we can actually start making progress. And because if you look at customer service industry in the last, I don't know how many years, but a lot of schools have been going down. I like to think about incentives and things, and it's like, why are these things going down, and why is this situation? But I think there is a great opportunity here for AI to actually change that if we use it the right way. So we need,
when you use it the right way.
Exactly.
Yes. So embracing it, but actually using experts as well to show you how to use it.
Exactly.
Because I think sometimes we try to do something on the cheap as well. Or, we can do that in house, and actually,
yes, exactly,
you're not getting the right tools. You're not getting the right return, and then people are just disillusioned by it, right?
Exactly. I mean, just look at all the chatbots. It's like, oh my God! It's like I'm dying to see one that actually is working well, right? And this is because, honestly, this goes back to design. I mean, I have a lot of experience in creating this kind of technology, and it's really it's very painful to experience this experience coming with this bot that is just like, stuck in the loop. And I think it goes down to, okay, I need a chatbot. Let's just imagine what people are going to talk about. But you're never going to be able to do that. So really, the way to create a chatbot is to go from your data. So what are people talking about? How are they phrasing it, right? And then start from there. But there's always like, it's almost like everything goes in the opposite direction when they are designed. And it's like, oh, we spend all this money and it's not working. And I'm like, I know. It's just like, so I think there's a hopefully great, and now with ChatGPT, everyone is like, oh, Gen AI chatbot is amazing. I'm like, hey, hold on, like that chatbot might actually have some other issues, so you need to kind of consider those as well. So, but anyway, it might sound like I'm negative. I'm not actually. I'm actually very excited about the future because I think we're finally at the point where it's almost like we had to go through this,
right?
It's like we had to go through. Exactly, yeah. So it's like we almost like now we can actually try and go on the other side, and create better experiences, right? Rather than just like this, like, please, I need to speak to a human experience.
So what do you think what do you think businesses what advice should you advise to somebody who's just listening to the podcast, for example, and kind of wants to know some more? Do you have, so you've got your website that you obviously, do you have testers or videos? How do you actually show what you do?
Yeah, we have a lot of videos. I suppose. Yeah, I mean, even if you are in the customer experience industry, if you go to sentientmachines.tech, there will be videos showing some of our technology. But really, the best thing to do, I think, is just to kind of be brave and like, even if you have some kind of like resistance, just like to go for it and try things. Even just go to OpenAI website and try ChatGPT if you haven't already. Even though I can't imagine that someone hasn't done that already, but if you haven't, go and do that. And I think that it's like a flavor of what's possible. And I think it's an amazing flavor because it's very easy to get it. It's for anyone. You don't need an AI background. You don't need to be a techie. You just need to know how to speak and write, and you can basically play with this technology. And I think that's really cool. I mean, with sentient machines, we also do like we call them quick dips, like where we just, we take a few conversations and then we give some insights back. So actually we make it very easy as a SaaS business. So if you're a small business, exactly. So if you're a small business, you don't want to kind of spend a lot of money, and you don't have a lot of money to hire like expensive consultants and so on. You could just really try this technology very easily, and it's actually very affordable, I think, in terms of what it does. And then when you learn a little bit, the thing is, I will warn everyone as well that it's like then you want more and you want more. But I think that's a good thing because, you know, you see returns and you go further. Like with our technology, we started in compliance and in quality assurance in call centers, but then it always goes into training, it goes into customer experience because it's just how it is. And yeah, I think that's actually
exciting. How exciting. That's just amazing just to see how the technology is really going to enhance the customer experience. And that's what we want. Every single help to actually make that experience even better. So thank you so much for being with me today. And I'm really, really looking forward to the next few months for us to start doing things together. And there'll be some more events. So if you want to just follow, also you're on LinkedIn. We can follow you and connect on LinkedIn as well if anybody wants to.
For my very difficult last name, there's not many of me.
I'll put it in the comments box so you can just click on it. It'll be much easier. Thank you so much.
Happy to connect with anyone on LinkedIn and talk about this.
Excellent.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
For more on creating exceptional customer service for your business, head to clareboscq.com. Listen to more episodes of The Shine on CX Show, wherever you get your podcasts. The Shine on CX Show.